Are you struggling to get DJ gigs? Well, you're not alone. Breaking into the scene can feel impossible at times, but trust me, it's not. I often get asked for advice on getting more gigs, especially from beginner DJs. So I've decided to share some simple but effective strategies to help you build connections and land more opportunities. Be sure to stick around to the end, as the last tip is probably the most important of them all. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Quinn. I'm a DJ, producer, and radio host, and I'm looking to build a community on here and help aspiring creatives by sharing my journey, as well as tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. Over the years, I've had the pleasure of playing at some iconic venues across London, including the Jazz Café, XOYO, Fabric, The Cause. I've worked with some great brands like Red Bull and McLaren. I've also worked with smaller independent brands like Moth Drinks, Sly Dog Rum, and the Smalls Film Festival. So I know all about getting booked, and it is a skill, but the good news is it's a skill that you can learn too. Today, I'm going to share 6 essential tips that have helped me build my career over the years. So whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your career, hopefully at least some or all of these tips will help you achieve your goals. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number 1, go to events. Do not underestimate the importance of going to events in your local area. It may seem obvious, but it's really crucial, and there's a couple of reasons why. The first is that it's important to be in the spaces where things are happening. When you're going to events regularly, you're more likely to meet promoters and others working in the industry who can help you. It also makes for a much better first impression. Bookers and promoters are often inundated with emails from DJs looking for opportunities. It can be really hard to set yourself apart. So actually showing up and supporting someone's event is the best way to sell yourself, but also get your foot in the right door. Secondly, it's actually really important that you vet an event and check that it is the right fit for you. It doesn't happen very often, but there have been times where I've been booked for an event that at face value seemed great, but when I got there, it was poorly organized or the vibe just wasn't quite the right fit for me. So do your research, look up events in your local area that's based on the music that you want to play, and go and check it out for yourself. Tip number 2, get a radio show. This one's a game changer and it's really fun. Having a regular radio slot not only helps you build credibility as a DJ and grow an audience, it also helps you showcase your music style, your mixing ability, and ultimately build up a bank of content and mixes that you can use to promote yourself. You also have the added benefit of meeting new people and becoming part of a wider community. A lot of radio stations actually have good relationships with venues where they might do regular club nights and takeovers, so it is actually also a good gateway to getting more DJ opportunities. So start small. You don't need to try and get a residency on BBC Radio 1. You can just start with local or online radio stations and just submit a proposal and go from there. A pro tip is to try and be strategic with your radio show to get the most out of it. How can you make it unique? Are there any guests that you could invite on your show for a back-to-back or even a chat in exchange for a feature on their show, for example? If you want me to dig a little bit deeper into this in another video, just let me know in the comments. Tip number 3, connect with other DJs. Networking isn't just about promoters, it's also about collaboration, which can lead to many opportunities like back-to-back mixes, guest appearances on shows, and even recommendations for gigs that other DJs can't take. So look out for DJs in your scene and try and connect with them, support their mixes and their content online, go to their shows, grab a coffee with them, and reach out for some advice. Take every opportunity that you can to connect with others in the industry, because ultimately there is nothing more important than community. And having a strong support network of DJ friends is not only great for sharing knowledge, but it's also nice to have a group of people that you can grow together with. Speaking of gigs, I'm very excited to announce that I am back at the Jazz Café this Saturday on the 8th of March for my second all-night-long set. I'm so excited. I've been prepping a playlist full of absolute weapons. We're going on a real musical journey as always. I'm going to be playing everything from jazz house, soulful house, garage house, disco, tech and Afro house. We're going to have it all, and I'm just so excited. So if you're around in London and you want to come say hi and shake a leg, then I will drop the event link in the description below. But for now, let's get back to the tips. Tip number 4, join a DJ agency. Agencies can be a great way to get more opportunities, especially for larger events or festivals or even branded events. There are different agencies for different purposes. For example, I've worked with a few great agencies over the years that book DJs for luxury venues and even corporate events. If you're open to it, it can be a great way to earn money, as these bookings often pay much better than club gigs and they can be really fun. You can also look into getting a booking agent. This can take some time, but working through some of the other tips I've already discussed, like building a strong portfolio of mixes, having a regular radio show, and building up a catalogue of events that you've played at, is a great way to strengthen your brand. There are advantages and disadvantages to working with agencies, and ultimately it really just depends on what your goal is and what kind of DJ you want to be. So give it some thought and go from there. Tip number 5, start your own event. If you're not getting enough DJ gigs, then create your own opportunities. Hosting an event is a great way to have complete creative control over everything from the lineup, the venue, the music brief, the branding. Now, don't get me wrong, running an event is not a walk in the park. Trust me, I've done quite a few myself, but it does show initiative and it can attract the attention of promoters. It's also a great way to network and build a reputation as someone who's known for bringing people together. You can start small so it's not super overwhelming. Perhaps look into intimate spaces with a capacity of 50 to 75 people. And you can also negotiate deals with venues where instead of putting down a lump sum for venue hire, you take a cut of the bar spend or the ticket sales. Tip number 6, if you take nothing else from this video, then remember this one simple golden rule. Take initiative. Opportunities do not just fall in your lap. You'd be surprised at how many messages I get from people saying that they're struggling to get opportunities. But when I actually ask them what they're actively doing to put themselves out there, the answer is often not very much. There is no shortage of ways to take control of your DJ career. Regardless of how you go about it, the main thing is to take matters into your own hands and just have fun with it. As I said before, going to events is probably the best way to meet people and get yourself out there. But it's not always possible, and it's totally okay to reach out to people via social media or email. So introduce yourself, share some mixes, explain why you think you'd be a great fit for their event. Don't be afraid to follow up if you don't hear back straight away, but be careful. Polite persistence is key here. Do not be pushy. And there you have it. 6 tips for getting more DJ gigs. If you try any of these or even have some of your own to add, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Before you go, I also dropped a link to an exclusive Spotify playlist curated by myself on my Patreon account, and this gives a glimpse into the kind of music that I play at my Jazz Café sets. It has over 90 tracks and it was curated by me, and it's only available on Patreon. So if you're even a tiny bit curious or you just want to generally support my creative journey, you can check out the link to my Patreon in the description below. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe for more DJ tips. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.